the racetrack.
Yeah, the track this year, guys, first thing I noticed walking across it this afternoon was it's harder than it's ever been. Usually when you walk across this racetrack, it's a little bit spongy, kind of bouncy a little bit. This year, very hard and compact. I think a lot of that may have to do with in years past when we've got to the dirt. It's had a little bit of snow on it, some rain. This year, unseasonably warm temperatures here in south central Missouri, or southeastern Missouri, excuse me. So maybe that has a little bit to do with excited, interested to see how the track responds too. You know, we've seen in years past, gets a lot of character from being soft. Well, this year I think maybe we won't see that. I guess we'll know here in a couple hours, guys.
Well, we're definitely going to know in a couple of hours. Well, another member of our broadcast team tonight, he's going to catch up with a guy that won this race in 19. We didn't have it in 20 because of the pandemic, but he won it last year in 21, and that is Tyler Carpenter, and we're going to head down to Derek Kessinger, who is caught up with your defending champion.
Well, first and foremost, guys, I'm going to try to do a great job like Trenton Berry does. Hopefully he gets better. This guy is harder to talk to than the President of the United States. Tyler Carpenter, the two-time defending champion. TC, relaxing day. You going to scout the racetrack and see how it goes the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, man, I'm just going to be a spectator today and see what's going on and try to take notes for tomorrow night.
I mean, you win this thing twice. People love you here. How much fun do you have at this event?
Oh, it's the most fun I ever had in my life coming here, you know, getting to do my thing in front of all these great fans and my family. And like every year, you never know what's going to happen. So I come here, try to put on the best show I can put on.
Do you feel like you have a big target on your back this weekend?
I feel like it every time I come here, but you know, I don't care about that.
And one cool thing, guys, we got his personal security guard, Jerry. Jerry, making sure TC's okay this weekend?
Yeah, we got him covered all the way from Victory Lane back to West by God, Virginia. Woo! Take her home, baby.
Dustin, Ben, it's only Thursday afternoon. Jerry's fired up. Tyler Carpenter's looking to win 3 in a row.
Oh man, I love that. When I'm going to work when your head of security's that fired up. That could not bode well for how much you could be protected.
Can we get Jerry actually up here outside?
We got Jerry up here.
Thrill? We do have Jerry up here.
I don't know if you know that. I'll be on the chip pretty quick here, boys.
This Jerry is not protecting anything other than he's lunch.
That one, there was some of that West Virginia moonshine in the house. Well, DJ, we've got the Comp Cams Super Late Models tonight. We've got the Summit Race.
Not the Comp Cam Super Late Model Series.
Nope, the Comp Cam Super Late Models.
That's right.
And we've got the Summit Racing Equipment Modifieds. Complete show for half of the field tonight. 65 of the Comp Cam Super Late Models, 30 the Summit Racing Equipment Modifieds. We're going to have qualifying. Well, first we'll have Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the late models. Then we'll come back at you, and we'll have the qualifying coming your way for the late models, the Twisted Tech qualifying. Meanwhile, the Modifieds, they're going to have Weir's Machine Hot Lap qualifying. That'll determine their heat race lineups. And DJ, don't look now.
What, Ben?
Cars on the Speedway,
We've got cars
friend.
on the Speedway. That's 1 minute early. It's 2:59 p.m. Luckily, my internet's working flawlessly right here in front of me, and I can tell you who all these guys are. I do know this. I do know that is the Pink Panther, Bob Gardner, out of Washington, Illinois, in the 4G, leading the group out. And is that Jim Rogers?
That is. We just saw him at Sonoy. That's
right. Jim Rogers, the Statesboro, Georgia driver in the 71. He'll be followed out, Ben, by a 2-time Gateway Dirt Nationals champ and a special Grinch wrap on the 32 out of Oakwood, Illinois. That is Bobby Pierce.
Yeah, the 57 car out of Bagley, Minnesota. Blake Higginbotham, MB Custom number 57. And final few cars on the Speedway. Timothy Welch II, the B17. And Michael King Jr., the 14 junior out of El Dorado, Arkansas. Hot laps are underway. Dirt Draft Hot Laps here tonight is the 6th annual Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by Raleigh Auto Parts. Officially underway with a green flag. And DJ, you forget how fast they turn laps at this place.
Absolutely, man. I mean, they're going to be turning laps in the lower 11-second range once they get this thing blowed off just a little bit. Bobby Pierce, again, a 2-time winner of the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals, laying down the early quick lap at 11.722. Ben, Dirt Draft back on board as our sponsor of the Hot Lap sessions at the Gateway Dirt Nationals again. And guess what? They are not giving away 1 T-shirt this year.
We've yet to get any, and they're giving away 2 this year if you sign up. What have they got to do to do that?
That's a bunch of, they have got, they're giving away 2 free T-shirts this year, and we'll actually ship those shirts to them. All they got, it'd be a good Christmas gift for your wife, who's running around with my wife somewhere, spending our money. So, all they got to do, go to dirtdraft.com, use the /FloRacing, and you will get not only a Dirt Draft t-shirt, but you will also get your choice of a FloRacing Lucas Oil All-Star Sprints or USAC shirt as well.
Next set of cars on the Speedway, 5-time winner this year. That's Adam Elliott out of Cunningham, Kentucky in the number 11. And behind him in the 45, that'll be Colt Smith. The Crescent Comet is what they call him, out of Woodruff, South Carolina. You choked on water, DJ. How did you do that thing? Cell chassis, Brax Services, 45. Jerry, we've already lost DJ.
I didn't know if this is where if I give him the Heimlich or I jump in and start talking.
I really don't know what happened to it. The 24 in this set, that'll be Ryan Unzicker out of El Paso, Illinois, this year's Marks champion. The 9Z of Jamie Zidar out of Hills Corner, Wisconsin on the Speedway. The 187, David McCoy out of Franklin, North Carolina. And a driver that's already caught a little bit of that concrete, the 14W of Indiana's Quentin White. As that will not be the first time we'll see a spoiler come off a 14 car. On your screen, though, you see Adam Elliott. Of course, his family, they reopened Paducah International Raceway last year.
I'm back.
Yeah,
I made it.
A little bit of smoke. Glad that you didn't go by the wayside, DJ.
Me and Paducah International Raceway are back, baby.
What a deal.
I think Paducah's in a better shot than you're in right now. I've never seen anybody choke on water and fall off their step stool like you did, but...
Oh, yeah. It should be noted that we all have step stools this year in the new booth that we're in. Compound. Hey, how about Ryan Unzicker going to the top of the leaderboard here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps with an 11.643. Bobby Pierce second quick, Jim Rogers third, Jamie Zidar fourth, and Bob Gardner right now, Jay Van rounding out the top 5.
You know, you talk about Paducah closing and reopening. When you see when you saw the 9J of Jamie Zidar out of Hales Corner, Wisconsin. Man, that was one track as growing up as a kid, as I read in the race papers and stuff. I want to go to Hales Corner. Never got the chance to go there, but you know, with the invention of YouTube and all these people uploading videos, that place in Wisconsin produced some great late model racing.
And you never made it there in person, did you?
No, because it closed and I didn't get to go.
Maybe you should take up Racetrack promoting.
Hey, let's talk.
I've tried that.
Hey guys, how about making history for the first time ever? We have sisters here racing this weekend. Rachel Carpenter, the 11, and her sister Megan, her older sister Megan. We're not doing any ages because we choose life. But Megan Sanders also racing, but you see Rachel Carpenter, that 11C.
She's followed out by another female driver, Tegan Evans in the T22.
It's a lady takeover here at the Dome.
Oh, it's ladies' night.
It is ladies' night.
What is that?
Because it's ladies' night.
Coming around, that's going to be Brian Wolfmeyer. Yeah, the 5X out of House Springs, Missouri. There's a lot happening on that race car. And behind him, the number 75A, first time here, Daniel Adam out of Stedman, North Carolina, originally from Peru, Illinois.
Not Patrick Daniel, former Gateway Dirt Nationals pole sitter, who's also here in a 75. That's Daniel Adam, and one other driver on the track. That'll be Chad Zobrist-Ben in the 7Z out of Highland, Illinois, a driver that has run very, very well in the past runnings of the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals. As a matter of fact, in the first 4 years of the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals, Chad Zobrist in his own 87 actually started in the top 8. He finished in the top 4 in his prelim each night. Of course, in previous years, we would take the top 4 finishers for our prelim nights. This year, we're taking the top 3. So only 3 out of the prelim features, 1 extra driver will advance out of the B mains this year. We'll still start the same number of cars, Benji.
Well, 1 extra car on the racetrack in that set, the number 91 of Rusty Schlenk, and he said it's been a bad year. Only 12 wins for the McClure, Ohio driver in that Buckeye Concrete Coatings Mullins Power Domination race car for Rusty Schlenk. Fastest time of the afternoon so far, still the Gremlin, Ryan Unzicker, this year's Mars late model champion. He won on dirt in the ARCA car. He obviously won in the super late model, and he's trying to win in the Dome. Maybe the only driver I've ever seen going for the lead and flip, and we saw that a few years ago with Ryan Unzicker. One of the most unbelievable moments in the history of the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals.
And he got out to just a rousing ovation from the crowd as well. After having led, he lost the lead to Tyler Carpenter, and he regained it, was trying to hang on there in lap traffic. And down in turns 1 and 2, he just hooked a rut and went over. So right now we have hot lapped 18 of the 60-plus entries that are here this evening. Unzicker the quickest right now in Dirt Draft hot laps with an 11.643. Bobby Pierce second quick, Jim Rogers third, Jamie Zidar fourth, and Bob Gardner fifth. And Ben, you know as well as I do what Dirt Draft hot laps pays to win.
A lot.
Not
Oh, no, nothing. Never.
Nope,
nothing.
not a thing. But if you get on Dirt Draft, you can actually get 2 free T-shirts. There's going to be a leaderboard for the modifieds.
But you got to take part in today to have a chance for the overall championship. All 3 days.
Do today. Yeah, you got to do today in order to take part in the overall championship. You're right. Again, there's going to be a leaderboard for the late models, a leaderboard for the modifieds. The top 25 in points are going to receive bonuses from the speed shop, which is really cool. I'm going to try my luck at it if I can get on the internet here, which is not proved to be extremely fruitful thus far.
You know, you get enough internet back at home. You'll be fine. You will be fine as the next set of cars start to come out. And the first car out, the 21K, first time we've seen him here, Jacob Kolwick out of Griffin, Indiana, the Hendren Racing Engine rocket chassis. And behind him, Scott Bell out of East Prairie, Missouri. He's only raced 4 events entering tonight. Tonight will be number 5. And the gentleman behind him, we'll talk about that car this weekend. You're not used to seeing him in a number 28 car. That'll be Jeff Newbert out of Rockford, Tennessee, the Longhorn race car, Jay Dickens Phantom Racing Engine number 28N.
A few other drivers on the track for this hot lap session include the driver over in turn number 3 out of St. Charles, Missouri, a former prelim night winner. That's going to be Gordy Gundaker. Gordy Gundaker in the JNC Properties McKay Corporation Lucas Oil sponsored number 11. Behind him in a former Johnny Scott car, that is going to be Clinton, Illinois' Kyle Hammer. Kyle Hammer, who started off the 2022 season running for the World of Outlaws Case Construction Rookie of the Year in the bull-powered Rocket XR1. That is Kyle Hammer, again a former Johnny Scott car in the 45. And then one other driver on the track, Ben, for this hot lap session is one of a couple number 4.
Yeah, that's going to be Ryan Wilson,
the
the Margaret, Alabama driver, the Iron City Machine Engine Rebuilders. XR1 rocket chassis for Ryan Wilson. Another fresh face here at the Dome. Racetrack's looking pretty good. Jerry, I want to ask you, your first time here, Dirt Draft Hot Laps, not even halfway through. What's your first perceptions of what you've seen?
I'm going to keep it censored.
Please
but,
do.
Yeah,
Please
it's
do.
amazing. I mean, with what I do, at Marshalltown, I mean, a lot of my track, we always track prep, giving these racers a great surface. Watching just this first handful of hot lap session, this racetrack is amazing. How they put this racetrack in here and how these drivers race it, and watching the surface do what it does. It's like we talked yesterday. First thing I did when I got here is they were doing a little sheep's footing of the vibratory packer, and I was out there, okay, promoter shoes come on, and looking at the dirt and seeing what it would do. And talking to guys yesterday and talking to you guys, with the weather, the temperature out, the moisture content when they laid this in, this is going to be a pretty racy thing all weekend long. And I'm just excited to watch what they do with it, watch how they do it, and then watch the drivers adapt to this surface this week.
Well, DJ,
it turns out my microphone works better when it's not on mute. Yes. The 21K on your screen, Jacob, what'd you call him?
Kolwick.
Yes.
Yeah, but 21K.
Yes.
I went by and verified because you don't want to get it wrong. But yeah.
We have before.
We have, and we probably will at some point this weekend, but it's
Absolutely.
Kolwick.
It's Kolwick, yes.
And he's from Griffin, Indiana.
Yes, he is.
He's got one of those Hendren crate engines under the hood, but you don't need a lot of power in the Dome.
Absolutely not.
So we'll see what he can do. I tell you what, the racetrack already widening out, maybe a little bit more than we would usually see in hot laps. They really got it packed hard. The dirt came in good. They tried a few things different. It'll be interesting how it races throughout the weekend as we continue to watch the cars, and nobody getting really into that top 5 now. Racetrack slowing down.
Yeah, Gordy Gundaker, the quickest in this group. He is 8th quick overall with an 11.922, and that is him in kind of the lower middle part of your screen. Actually got him. Look at that. We got Gordo on there a couple times. I saw Gordy Gundaker last night at the downstairs
You're struggling today, my friend.
Bar. Well, I was going to say the hotel bar. I was going to call it what it was.
By the way, how about our announcer's box? It is sponsored by Jim Beam and Werther's. That's who's sponsoring the announcer's box this weekend.
It is.
We've got a new sponsor, Halls.
My portion of it needs to be sponsored by Tylenol and Xfinity Internet is what I would really love to have mine sponsored by, but nothing changed. It's still Unzicker, Pierce. How about Jim Rogers, the Statesboro, Georgia driver, laying down a good lap, Ben, as the next group of drivers make their way out onto the speedway, led out by, I believe, the 1-1-1, and it's not Robbie Blair or Max Blair.
No, that's going to be Matt Tribble out of Pocahontas, Arkansas.
Not Pocahontas, Illinois.
No, and Sheila's tax service. We're all going to need her pretty soon. Sheila's tax service. The 20W, Justin White out of Stevensville, Michigan, rolls out of turn 4, the Ryan-powered Pierce race car. And behind him, I had to do a double take on this car. This is Dwayne Kiefer. There's a lot happening on the 0K this weekend out of Bloomsdale, Missouri, a one-time winner. He rolls past the flag stand. And right behind him, how about the 16 car of Brandon Tabaldi, the Almo, Kentucky driver, 2022 Clarksville Speedway Super Late Model Track champion. He had won the 602 championship a couple of years, but he won the Super Late Model Championship this year. And a driver you know quite a bit about, the 4S of Ryan Montgomery out of Fairmont, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Behind him, one more 4 DJ, and this one's going to be Chris Simpson. That driver.
That's the Jason Surrey entry.
Yes, of course, Simpson out of Oxford, Iowa, 4-time winner this year, and they worked out a deal for Simpson to drive that car here.
So the 4S on your screen is the Terry Suppa-owned 4S of Ryan Montgomery.
Yes.
Just behind him, you see the yellow 4 there just behind Ryan Montgomery. That's the Jason Surrey-owned entry that Chris Simpson, the Oxford, Iowa driver, will be behind the wheel of this weekend. But yeah, Ryan Montgomery out of Fairmont, West Virginia, driving for Terry Suppa, that Rayburn race car. He actually ran a CJ Rayburn tribute wrap on that race car a little earlier this year, as the checker flag going to wave on this session of dirt. Boy, they're rolling right through Dirt Draft Hot Laps. How about Ryan Wilson, Benji, rolling off the 10th best lap with a 1.2020.
Hey, man, those Alabama boys don't play out of Margaret, Alabama. Good to have them. Jason Hyatt was supposed to be here, and they had some mechanical issues, one of their last races of the year, so we don't have that Oxford, Alabama driver with us, but a lot of talent over the years and all forms of racing coming out of Alabama, and it's cool to have Ryan Wilson with us.
Thank you for that. I just deleted Jason Hyatt off of my driver's list for the night.
I aim to please, my friend. I aim to please. All right, well, the next set of cars are making their way out to the Speedway, and we'll see. I believe the first one out is going to be the J12, and that's going to be East Peoria, Illinois' Jason Wagner.
Welcome back, Jason
Capital.
Wagner.
Yeah, good to have him here with us. And great-looking race car behind him. That's going to be the 2K of Pat Kelly out of Forest Lake, Minnesota, the Victory Circle race car, Kelly Automotive 2K for Pat Kelly. And also in this set, we'll have the 05B of Josh Bowler. He's out of Greencastle, Indiana, first time to the Dome, and the Kryptonite 604 crate-powered entry. Final 3 cars here in Group A, the Comp Chems Super Late Models, Dirt Draft Hot Laps, as they're getting them dialed in here. Night number 1, the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I like the Jason Wagner car. Looks good.
Yes.
Looks
Hopefully
really
it
good.
looks that good all weekend.
Yes, there are. It's amazing how many new bodies show up on these race cars for the Gateway Dirt Nationals, you know, and and it's funny because I was talking to Todd Sherman, a modified driver back there in the pits, and we were talking about that, and he said, the hell with that. He said, I put a plastic quarter panel on this car because I knew what I was getting myself into. You could see Todd Sherman out of Cherubusco, Indiana.
I had to go back and get that pronunciation. I'm worried I will butcher that one throughout the weekend.
Cherubusco, Indiana, multi-time.
Chewbacca, Indiana.
Chewbacca, multi-time. That's right. It's early in the weekend, fellas. It is early, yeah.
Pace yourself, my friends.
Oh, man. Multi-time Montpelier Motor Speedway track champion.
Well, that wraps up Group A. Ryan Unziker, the Gremlin, top of the leaderboard here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, 11.643 as we get set for the second wave of Comp Cam's Super Late Models to make their way out in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Everybody else headed back to the pit area to get ready for Twisted Tech qualifying.
Not Twisted T, who is sponsoring one of the Timmy Current Modifieds, by the way.
They are, yeah, I mean, you got Busch Light back there. There's some talent in those Timmy Current cars. They brought 5 of them, I think.
Yeah, Tom Berry Jr.,
hey,
Mike McKinney.
I need to classify something about the Timmy Current cars.
Okay.
He's not the owner.
Oh.
Marcia Current is the owner.
I saw Marcia at the hotel bar last night as well.
Sounds like Marcia has threatened Jay Van before.
No, I'm telling you, it's Marcia owns them. Just you ask her in the pits if you see her. Say, hey, you got some good-looking race cars down there.
We're doing it all weekend. Hey, Blake Anderson in the infield, you got your ears on. What do you see so far out of the racetrack from down trackside, my friend?
It's blowing off quite a bit. That's what surprised me. Usually in the past, it's taken about 1 session of hot laps, maybe 2, to start to show some spots and character. But I think, as we mentioned earlier, just how hard it is, we've definitely seen that in the early goings. Nice and smooth early on, guys.
Hey, you know how he can see that? Because he's got his glasses on this year.
Yeah, Blake's got his glasses on. How about that, Blake?
So, Blake, I'm going to tell you, there may or may not be a photo I've taken already off of our screen, and you do look like Ralphie off A Christmas Story with those glasses on.
Blake, as a matter of fact, on our screen,
you'll shoot your eye out.
on our screen, when they showed you with your glasses on, all 3 of us may or may not have taken a picture of you. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, it turns it into HD. I went to the eye doctor last year, and they're like, you're -1. It's not really worth context. You can wear glasses when you want. So I do occasionally. and it turns everything from standard definition to high definition, so it's nice.
I don't know if you know this or not, Blake, but you've always been a -1 because you've never had a +1 with you. When you see that.
Jerry's known me my entire life.
Good game.
Well, so he's not even arguing with him.
No.
So right now they're going out there checking the racetrack a little bit as they get the second wave of Comp Cam Super Late models ready to come out. And again, if you're here in the Dome, again, if your friends and family can't make it, let them know they can watch it at FloRacing. If you're watching at FloRacing, we hope that you're going to join us either tomorrow. You might be on the way here now. If you're driving, don't look at the phone. The guy in the passenger seat can, though. We hope you're going to join us tomorrow or Saturday. All 3 days, on-track action starts at 3 o'clock, and a ton of great racing. Also, if you want to keep up with all the timing, you can go to My Race Pass and get the app. Everything is in the app. The lineups, the timing, driver information. So get the My Race Pass app here this weekend at the Dome, Dustin.
Yes, and let us know where you're watching from if you are not watching and driving at the same time. And tweet your Flow Seat. Use that hashtag, tweet your Flow Seat, and let us know where you're watching from. And you will. You will. It almost happened. It almost happened.
I got to paint this picture. We'll put a picture on social media. So I have a platform to stand on that it fits my small shoes well.
Stole from me.
Meanwhile,
look at this. There we go.
DJ and J-Van have got half of their feet hanging off the back of these platforms.
But I've got two. My left foot's on a platform. My right foot's on a different platform, and there is about an 8-inch gap in between the two platforms.
And I'm also looking here. Did you think that you were going sailing today with these Hey Dudes you have on?
Well, I mean, in honor of Tyler Carpenter, I wore the Hey Dudes.
He can sit there and say, our feet hang off for a reason. You know what they say? Big feet, big
socks.
Hey,
big socks.
Derek Kessinger,
right.
Is that I hear you out in the Dome?
Hey, Ben.
Oh, no, that's Blake.
That's close.
Sir.
Can I get my shameless plug?
Go ahead, please.
My Race Pass is the best app in all of racing. Announcer's best friend. Use it so often. The All-Stars, we use it every race. I know all the Castrol FloRacing Night in America races here at the Dome. Marshalltown uses it. So it's great.
Well, I'm a little biased, but I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Blake. Meanwhile, we're going to go down to Derek Kessinger, who has caught up with somebody for an interview. Take it away, D-Suave.
All right, I'm here with crew chief of Ricky Thornton Jr., Anthony Burrows. Anthony, your 106th night for 2022. A little bit different scenario inside the Dome, though.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. It's really more relaxed. You kind of go old school. Make sure you bring plenty of body panels and let the rough side drag.
All right, you saw the first few sessions of hot laps. How's the track holding up? How are you going to see some good racing here tonight?
I think so. It's a little drier, but it's staying more packed, so it doesn't look like it's got quite the character of the whole, so it should be pretty interesting as we go through the night.
A lot of college football playoff committee members are watching this, so state your case. How can Bama still get in the college football playoff?
They don't deserve to be in the playoffs. They've committed way too many penalties, way too undisciplined. They need to regroup and get ready for next year.
What about Dustin Jarrett's Ohio State Buckeyes?
No, I don't think they deserve to be in the playoffs either.
I hear that DJ, no Buckeyes this year in the college football playoff. He doesn't think Bama either.
Tell Anthony his mic just got muted.
And if you didn't know, Anthony Burrows, not only former championship and race-winning driver, obviously crew chief for Ricky Thornton Jr. and the SSI Motorsports entries, also member of a national championship team, I think 92 or so with the Alabama. He was on the national championship team.
That's before our very own Will Curry was even born.
Yeah, we found out that our sound engineer tonight was born in 1996.
He's also been muted, and he's also been muted for the rest of the week.
It was 92.
It was 92. There you go. So Blake knew that. Big Alabama fan.
Yeah.
Actually, he's good with Google.
He's good with it. So Anthony Burrows, of course, that team had a big end of the year. $53,053 that Ricky Thornton Jr. won. Castrol FloRacing Night in America's finale at Sonoy Raceway. And, of course, congratulations, $75,000 to Brandon Shepard. He picked up the title. He's in action in the B5 this weekend. Great-looking race car.
And he's actually making his way underneath the Flow banner right now on the back straightaway.
You cannot make that up. Right on cue. So the next set of cars getting lined up. These will be the cars in Group B tonight, and they'll come out. There's Brandon Shepard. Man, I love that True Timber camo Budweiser. Man, when you're in the STL, you got to have Budweiser on the race car.
Well, you got to have, and when you hunt like I do, you got to have True Timber camo. And in all of your hunting experience, Ben, I'm sure that's what you wear too.
My hunting experience is duck hunt on Nintendo. That is the extent of my hunting experience.
Now,
there you are.
Now you said your hunting experience. I mean, from what I've seen of your snaps and everything, it's more of like a tree sitting experience. DJ.
And now we can go ahead and mute Jerry Vance.
You know what I love about these crowd shots on Thursday afternoon? You can tell who called in sick to work work because they're like, oh, man, don't do this to me.
Yeah, and then there's always that one guy that's here with someone that he shouldn't be here with.
She's
and
embarrassed.
That guy
She's shy.
right there, yeah.
Look at. I see you smiling. Yep. You got the Carhartt hoodie on. Yep. She's like, nope, he isn't talking to me.
Yep. Oh, no, you are. Yep.
There we go. Here's
look at this dude with the
He's got
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its. How did he get
Cheez-Its
in here? I'd love some Cheez-Its and Werther's
You
and
with
whiskey.
the Cheez-Its. Come to 314, please.
Oh,
no, wait. We're 315. Don't come to 314.
You don't have Cheez-Its. Sit back down. You don't have any Cheez-Its.
Yeah, and then there's always that one person that acts like they've never seen a video camera before, and we found them.
Charleston Speedway. Let's go. Yeah, that's right.
Not flex cam yet, sir.
Yeah.
You saved
Just
that.
hang tight, brother. Hang tight, brother. We're coming at you in a little bit.
Speaking of brother, Daniel Jacober, he's running with us again this week. We have the Hulkamania car.
We do. Man, it went off the top rope like 8 times last year. That was.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
What a great looking race car. I believe that's going to be Jeremy Shackelford, I think, sitting down there. Good looking race car. As we got a lot of 20. Actually, that's going to be Jake Miller. That's the other 20. Yeah, he's got the black diamond, the Illinois racer. And, man, you know, it's funny because you take the 28s, you take the 4s, just certain numbers resonate at the dome. What a stud.
Look at Kyle McCowan, ladies and gentlemen, in the Racing Electronics
Look at us.
flag
You ain't got
stand.
nowhere to be, Kyle.
Now he's got a text. Hey, dude, you're on TV.
Kyle, wave at us. There you are, buddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He looks like he's at Chick-fil-A and he's about to take my order. I'll take the grilled chicken wrap.
I got upset at Chick-fil-A. Or Chick-fil-A back home. Well, they got the 2 drive-through lines. You know, there's Lewis Breeden down there checking out the racetrack. They got the 2 drive-through lines, but they changed one to a mobile app only line. I mean, who does that?
Cheryl, she gets on the mobile app all the time.
She can,
We're picking debris up. You know, it's a collection out there.
Well, and for the folks watching at home, or even for the folks here that have not been here before, this is not out of the ordinary. This is what happens every Thursday night. It takes a little bit. They have a hot laps, or they have a group that goes out. They hot lap. They go out. They survey the track. They see what needs done with it, because this isn't this is a temporary dirt track, right? So it's not like you just throw water on it, you're ready to go throughout the entire night like J-Van does at Marshalltown. I mean, he goes out there, preps the racetrack, and they roll through the entire program in about 2 hours and 18 minutes. This is a lot different, Jerry, because there's nowhere for the water to go. It can't penetrate down to the ground. It goes right down to the concrete surface. You've got experience at Marshalltown Speedway prepping your racetrack, but you've also got experience working indoor events like the Battle at the Barn as well. 2 very different racing surfaces that we see at those 2 different venues.
Oh, it is, you know, because the inside of the building is controlled. They control the ventilation. There's so many, you know, outside you've got things we watch for is humidity, the temperature, bariatric pressure, in how the dirt.
Hold on. Did you say bariatric pressure?
Barometric or whatever that. See,
barometric?
I'm not good with those words.
I think bariatric is what you drink before you go to get your intestines checked.
He's reached the bariatric age right now. He's getting these words all mixed up.
I am close. Yeah, my doctor talked to me about that. But anyway, there's so many things outdoors that you work with that you have to. Yeah, it's going to be like this here. I mean, I'm here all week. You guys didn't bring me in for stats or statistics. You brought me in for stupidity, and I appreciate it so much. But with the racetrack in here, there's no sun, there's no wind. It's climate controlled. And with it only being, you know, anywhere from 15 to 5 foot deep of dirt, a lot of people are like, you know, why don't they water it more? Why don't they water it more? The water has nowhere to go, and when you put a lot of water on this surface here, what you're going to do is you're going to take away everything you've worked for to get that hard, what we call a hard pan or that base, and make it where it is. You know, but they'll keep on top of it. We've seen them out here a couple times with the track prep crew working, putting a little sprinkler. We do that at Marshalltown. You've seen it, DJ, and you're 4,000 times there this year. That we'll go out and sprinkle the top, sprinkle the bottom, and kind of keep that surface there. But these guys, they're going to stay on top of it. They're going to do a great job with the surface.
I do want to let folks know real quick that Scott Bloomquist is back at his merchandise tent signing autographs. I just got that text, so want to let folks know that Scott Bloomquist is back there signing autographs at his merchandise tent. Stop back and see him as they've got. Have you seen the new Alien T-shirt they have? Yes, Gary Marasco with the new Alien T-shirt. I love it. I got to get one of those. And speaking of really cool things, Ben, that is, I believe, Josh Baker on the Speedway in a great looking CJ Rayburn throwback wrap.
Yeah, the Moshheim, Tennessee driver in the 1CJ. Great looking race car, that Lucky 7 Motorsports downforce race suspensions entry. And right behind him in car 24
is a driver that made this race last year.
And he's
for the
always a
first time.
blast to talk to. He's a lot of fun. That's Tanner Collins out of Franklin, Georgia, the Rocket XR1 Extreme Auto and Truck Repair entry. And how about that guy behind him, DJ?
Yeah, it's going to be the new driver of the Viper Motorsports number 96V, a driver that's had a lot of success here at the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals in years past. Out of Benton, Kentucky, Tanner English in the Viper Risk Management 96V, one other driver on the track now in turns 3 and 4. Out of Parkersburg, West Virginia in the Salute to the Veterans, the Armed Forces Kryptonite house car that's going to be fast Freddie Carpenter. Did you hear that, Jerry? That's the fastest ponytail in the Kryptonite. It used to be the K car. It's still got a small K on it. It's got the big star on it and the Salute to Armed Forces entry.
We got one more out there we missed. That'll be Arvado, Colorado's Scott Rhodes in the 5R as the checkered flag drops on that set.
Not to be confused, of course, with the driver, the 83R, Scott Rhodes, the Pennsylvania driver that used to race.
Pennsylvania, Colorado,
very
Colorado,
similar terrain. Very similar terrain.
All right, so that set of cars will go back again. Those are the first set of cars in qualifying. They'll be in qualifying Group B, but they're in Dirt Draft Hot Lap Group B here for the Comp Cams late models. And they will head back to the pit areas. The next set of cars will make their way out to the speedway. You always got to love it when you look down and you have a text and it says Buddha on it, but it's our good old buddy, Bert by Buddha. And he said, don't know how to tweet, but I know how to text. I'm watching. I love it, Buddha. All right, next set of cars are making their way out to the speedway. And man, a car that just one of the best looking cars in the pit area, I think. Eric Thorne out of Baytown, Texas, and that Rocket Thorne Racing Engine 260. And behind him, that's going to be the number 15 of Chris Fetter out of Troy, Missouri, the Kircher-powered Rocket chassis. A race car that they bought specifically to run the Dome, and man, it's awful pretty to have out here. That's Jordan Barbie out of Verdigris, Oklahoma, the Longhorn Drain-powered Brown Supply Company entry. A mod racer, first late model event, and he bought that car for the Dome.
Out of Caney, Kansas, Jacob McGee behind him in the 10, also on the speedway. And a couple other drivers on the track right now for this second hot lap session for Group B. That's Chase Berta in the 18B out of Columbiaville, Michigan. And I think there's one other driver out there. I missed him, William Stile, the Pennsylvania driver.
Or WL Style.
WL Style, that's right. WL Style, William Style in the 51S. Those are the 6 drivers on the track for this hot lap session. And our normally been our Dirt Draft hot lap screen wipes clean for us. It did not do that this time, so we've mixed these drivers in with the ones that had hot lapped previously.
Well, they're trying to make it challenging for us, so.
Well, and WL Style just had a challenge with turns 1 and 2.
He does sound like an author. Did you read that latest novel by WL Style?
Yes.
No, I did not.
Well, was there a Stein? WL Stein?
Man, don't make me. I can't read.
No, really, I think.
Cheryl, is there a WL Stein that's an author? Yeah, she thinks she made it up too, so I don't think so.
No, the look on her face just said that Dustin was right. But our wives can't tell the difference, and it's like everybody else. So.
All right, well, we'll look for the next set of cars to come out. As I tell you what, there's been years on Thursday, it's been a ghost town in here, and people are starting to come in. I really think, especially by Saturday, we could be creeping on, dare I say, the biggest crowd we've ever had. We'll find out in a few days. I don't know. A lot of interest this year for this event. A lot of people excited as the next set of cars make their way out to the speedway.
And they're going to be led out by Pete Crum out of Cutler, Ohio in the Crum-powered Kryptonite race car. That's the 34C, his second year here racing at the Dome.
What if, though, I don't know, I don't think Pete can make it this year. I think that's actually going to be Kyle Weiser, the other 34. Pete told me this week.
Oh, that is not Kyle Weiser. I know that for a fact. Kyle Weiser is
34. So we have James Walters also out of Brazil, Indiana.
I bet that might be the
moment of truth.
Yes,
there it is. James Walters.
James Walters, yes. Okay.
Some of these guys we don't get to see all year except at the Dome. It makes it entertaining.
And I do get to see Pete Crum, and he usually drives a white, black, and green number 34.
Couldn't make it. He said
so he couldn't make it. Yeah. There's a Brandon Shepard in the 5B also on the speedway. We've got the 20 RT of my goodness, what a load of heavy hitters.
That was a good set.
Yeah, no kidding. Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Chandler, Arizona, the 20 RT. Mowequa, Illinois, Shannon Babb, who we may or may not have seen at the hotel bar last night in the 18. Morgan Alexander on the speedway in the 711, and then one other driver on the track in the 32P. That's going to be Glenwood, Arkansas's Preston Farmer, as those are the 6 drivers on the track for this latest session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Brandon Shepard, the quickest driver in that group. Benji, 14th quick overall with a 1:2.097.
Yeah, that was a fun group. All the way from Preston Farmer, the Arkansas driver, Shannon Babb from Illinois, Morgan Alexander. We saw him at Sonoy Raceway, the Georgia racer. We talked about the 34 of James Walters out of Indiana. Sheppy, you got the Arizona native and Ricky Thornton Jr. What a set. DJ, what would you call that set of drivers from so many different states? How would you?
A very eclectic
That's
mix
right.
of drivers.
If you have your bingo card out at home, I know it's on there. You know what you got to do. All right, next set of cars.
Isn't it funny that the guy who made the
shared it with
card
us
a few years ago is now one of our producers?
That is funny. And don't let us get the bingo card. Well, the next set of cars make their way out, and it's going to be Kylan Garner. Used to see him in the 45 car.
Yeah.
He is in the USA 1 this week. Last-minute ride change for the event. The Chris and Dana Hawkins Motorsports Kryptonite USA 1 for Kylan Garner out of Neosho, Missouri, as he rolls off into turn number 3. Stopped on the middle of the back straightaway. If I was a betting man, DJ, I'm going to say that's going to be Kyle Weiser out of Ashland, Ohio. The other 34 that's
That is
here.
Kyle Weiser out of Ashland, Ohio.
And behind him, driver you've seen turn a few laps.
It's Chris Carpenter out of Parkersburg, West Virginia, who made this race last year in the KN Contracting ProTech Auto Sales sponsored number 18. He'll be followed out by Tullahoma, Tennessee's Joe Denby in the 27.
In the B89 in this set, Dakota Smith out of Winfield, Louisiana. And Brayton Laster's got trouble down the back straightaway in the 13. He will roll to a stop, the Greenwood, Indiana driver. There's a whole lot happening in this set. We got all kinds of drivers that are stopping for meet and greets on the back straightaway. As the 18-year-old, I believe he's 18 still, Brayton Laster. Fun story, or not fun story, a fact. Joe Denby in the 27. Tomorrow, Donald McIntosh will make his debut here at the Dome. And Jaden Frame, also part of that team. He'll be in action in the J8. But good to see D-Mac making, not D-Mac our producer, Dustin McCarty, but Donald McIntosh in the 27. He'll be, or 7M, he'll be making his debut at the Dome tomorrow. And that's a driver kind of took about a year away from racing, DJ. We saw him at some late season Castrol FloRacing Night in America events. You see Brayton Laster on your screen. He gets that 13 rolling once again.
So a funny story about the 13 that you see there. I think it was that one. So, and again, they all kind of run together whenever you go through the pits, right? But on the the door bar there, the halo above the head, or a lot of times it'll say Longhorn or Rocket XR1 or whatever else. The 13, as the B89 does the slide for life down in turn number 2.
Smith.
Yep. But the 13, it actually says not a rocket up above the driver's door. Go ahead, Blake Anderson.
When Brayton Laster stopped back here, guys, car just shut off on him. So maybe something to keep an eye on, battling gremlins already here at the Dome.
Well, if you're ever going to have gremlins, they're probably going to pop up at the Dome. So the
as we have found out throughout the course of the day today.
And we're not, yeah, exactly. But hey, we're here. We're not talking about the gremlin atop the leaderboard here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, right? That's
I see what you did there.
11.643. Dakota Smith, the Winfield, Louisiana driver. I think the only GRT in the pit area going to get that car turned back around. He's a 604 crate late model regular down at Sabine Motor Speedway, Super B, Thunder Valley, all those tracks down in Louisiana.
Oh, is it Sabine?
That's what it's going to be right now. It may not be. I think. What do you think?
I always thought it was Sabine.
No, I think it's Sabine.
Well, you're a little
closer.
closer.
You're in Louisiana, yeah. It's Sabine.
You're closer to Louisiana than I am.
We're going to find. I guarantee somebody's going to correct us here in a minute.
Absolutely, they will.
Oh, so
okay, what do you got?
Jeremy Shaw sent me a text. He said R.L. Stein is a kid's author, but he is an author.
Stein.
It's
Okay,
R.L. Stein.
thank you, Jeremy. Close. W.L. Stein, R.L. Stein. Very close.
Oh, Cheryl sent it to me too, but I just saw Jeremy Shaw's. I didn't see my wife's text. I love everything about it. I have 6 different R.L. Stein texts. Mike Knuckles has sent me one. DJ just fell for almost the 3rd time in the first hour.
I pulled a hammy.
Don't.
Hey, take me in the tent. You take me in the tent. Work this out.
All right. Easy.
Okay.
Right, well, we're going to send that. That was a turbulent set of hot laps there. They're going to head back. And
I did not have turbulent on my bingo card
we have
today.
had 56 of the 65 cars, so dare I say maybe 1 or 2 more sets, and then we're going to turn it around. We'll go straight into Twisted Tech qualifying, and that'll determine the lineups. Group A will make up heat races 1, 2, and 3. Group B will make heat races 4, 5, and 6. DJ, only the top 2 out of the heats move off to the feature, and you got to be what to even make it in a B main? What do you have to finish, sir?
3rd through 7th
Wowza.
in the heat races. If you are 8th on back in your heat races, well, we'll see you again on Saturday night.
Where you're going to be starting like 87th in a
So
qualifier.
if you get a flat tire in a heat race,
Thanks for
hasta la
coming.
vista, baby. Next group making their way out on the racetrack, and I believe that's Matt Cook leading them out.
It's Matt Koch.
Matt Cook, we found that out the very first year that we were here.
And we still keep getting it wrong.
Yes, we do.
Patoka, Indiana's John Woods in the 111, and behind him, one of the most memorable drivers in the history of the Dome.
Ah, yes, out of Bell Valley, Ohio. That is the Bell Valley Terror, Kevin Smith in the number 2S. Who could forget the run-in he and Gordy Gundaker had here a few years ago. A few other drivers on the speedway. Doug Ty, the Illinois driver, making his way down the front straightaway in the 4D out of Troy, Illinois. The high side hustler, Jason Fager, out of Bloomington, Illinois, in the Tumbling Dice number 25, and one other driver on the track out of Twin Lakes, Michigan, in the 51. That'll be Steve Fairbanks. Uh-oh.
I'm just laughing. Cheryl was the first one to send me R.L. Stein. I got the 2 racers that sent it first. R.L. Stein wrote the Goosebumps books. How could you not know that? You're a father, DJ. Come on, man.
I know. Oh, yep, there's, I got it. Ashley Schwally just chimed in. It's R.L. Stein.
There it is.
Apparently everybody knew it was R.L. Stein except for us.
You know, Jerry could have gave it to us, and he didn't. Well, the checkered flag is dropping on what I would assume is going to be the final set of hot laps. We'll see if there's a couple of more cars here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps.
You know what happens when you assume?
Always wrong. And there are more cars in the staging lane as the voice of D-Mac. And I like the whisper feature. Yes,
was that you?
Thank you, D-Mac. Well, D-Mac, though, keep in mind, we're lining up qualifying for the Twisted Tech qualifying, too, though. But I think we may have a few more cars that will come out for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. DJ, have you been to Dirt Draft yet and got your lineup in?
Why, yes, I have.
Okay.
Have you?
No.
Shame on you. Jerry Van Sickle, have you been to dirtdraft.com and set your fantasy lineup? Nobody will know because your mic is muted.
I'm gonna plead the 5th on that, but great to have Dirt Draft.
That also means no.
Yeah. Well,
Was that the 5th, F-I-F-F-E? 5th?
5th.
Next set of cars, it's going to be the number.
Ledford.
That's right. How about Ledford, though? We got the Madman. I think he's going to be in action in the mod maybe today. His brother, Michael Ledford. And also, final car in this set, there's Jeffrey Shackelford. He is car number 28 to the 5th. There's like 5 of them here at least.
Out of Knightstown, Indiana.
That's fun to say. Rocket. That is a rocket chassis. It does not say not a rocket.
Say not a rocket on the door bar.
So we're going to give these drivers a couple of laps, and then we'll get ready for Twisted Tech qualifying. Did you see what the fast qualifiers get?
No.
They get those
what
cool
do they
little
get?
bikes down there.
Oh, yeah, those things are cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think the 3 of us should have a race around this track, and the winner should get one of the bikes.
Well, be careful in turn 2 because Shackelford spun out over there. So hang on, Ledford. He's coming through as the checkered flag
You and I
drops on that
are
set.
tall enough we could high jump Shackelford's car without a problem. Okay, maybe not.
Well,
maybe not. Shout out to Buzzy Racing Products, by the way, the speed cam there in the lower right-hand part of your screen for those of you watching at home.
And the RE Race Electronics control the flagman's booth.
Flagman's booth,
what
the
am I looking
R.E.
for?
Stein Flagman's booth. Is that what you just called
I got
it?
spun out by this helmet he's got. I mean, it's kind of Terminator-ish.
I don't know if Terminator was the word I was looking for. He looked very authoritative.
Oh,
Kyle does.
Doesn't look bariatric at all, though.
He does not look bariatric, no.
All right, well, we're going to shift gears to get ready now for Twisted Tech qualifying for the Comp Cam Super Late Models. Group A will make up heat races 1, 2, and 3. And those heat races will be 8 laps apiece as I look at my order of events that also for the first time ever used the number 1 size font.
Yes, we actually had to rewrite our heat race sponsors.
Well, Jerry did it. He was a team
Jerry
player.
did. He did, yeah. No, I really want to take credit for that because our heat race sponsors are indeed in number 1 font. And I'm at the age, Ben, where I've actually, instead of holding it closer to my face, I got to hold it out farther.
You have Blake hold it from the infield?
Yes.
Well, Blake, final thoughts as we get ready for Twisted Tech qualifying. Again, watching this racetrack, I feel like at this point in the past, we might have some whoop-de-doos out there, but, you know, if they're trying to get a hard base for the weekend, I feel optimistic. How do you feel, sir?
Yeah, track really hard right now. It's almost, at least from my vantage point down here, it feels like it's probably slicked off already as we've seen it in recent years here. And it all goes back to what we talked about at the top of the show, how when we got to the dirt, didn't have snow sitting on it, not as much moisture in it. And moisture is something we kind of have to watch here in the dome because it has nowhere to go once you put it, obviously down to the concrete and then comes right back up. So you really have to be cognizant of how much moisture you put on this place and when you put it on the dirt here inside the dome.
Well, as they sit here and get ready, we appreciate that update. Blake, we're going to head over to Derek Kessinger and a guy that is really fast on the bull rings. D-Swap's caught up with him.
Yeah, it's Rusty Griffaw, and Ben Shelton, he's not racing this weekend. He did a little board, $100 each, sold 100 spots, and Morgan Alexander is in your race car this weekend. What made you come up with that idea? You pocketed 10 grand as well.
Well, I had bills to pay, and I figured the only way I was going to make 10 grand, I was going to have to run third or better the best night, so I figured this would be the best way to do it.
All right, we saw Morgan go out there for hot laps. How'd he look?
He looked pretty good. He lost about a car length to Bab over the full time, so I was pretty happy with that.
Last thing is, are you sad, bummed out you're not going to try to make the show this weekend?
Oh, yeah, we would have loved to have been here, but all I needed to get my other one together was an oil system, and I didn't quite have it, so we'll be back next year for sure, though.
Ben and DJ, I think we need to pull some money together, enter the big board, and maybe we can race next year for the Gateway Dirt Nationals.
Well, Derek, I feel like if you or I or DJ or Jerry, anybody won that, if I'm Rusty Griffaw, I'm going to claim that it was not a valid win. I would not let one of us drive his race car. But I tell you what, DJ, we saw Morgan Alexander do a good job down at Sonoy Raceway. A little bit bigger than this place, but I tell you what, very cool. And you know what? As you plan for the next year, cool idea by Rusty Griffaw to come up with that promotion.
No, absolutely. Morgan Alexander, of course, started the Camping World Truck Series race at Knoxville last year with Nice Motorsports. Had 4 ARCA starts as well, a couple top 10s. So good to see Morgan doing a little bit more dirt track racing. Now, when time allows, of course, I think we're just about ready to get underway with Twisted Tech. How many times are we going to say Twisted T accidentally?
Well, and I've said Twisted Metal, but it is Twisted Tech. We want to thank those fine folks. And let's go ahead and tell you your first few qualifiers. First up will be Washington, Illinois' Bob Gardner, the Rocket XR1 Clemens Power under the hood, Springfield Electric Supply Company, Oberlander Electric, Glenn's Auto Body, 4G, the Pink Panther. The 71K coming to us out of Statesboro, Georgia, will be up next. The H&R Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, Wide Delta Inc., Carter's Body Shop, and Total Tire and Auto Care of Statesboro. Car 71K for Jim Rogers. And I don't know that Jim's ever been to the Dome. I didn't get to talk to him down there, but I don't remember him being here. Another driver I know has never been to the Dome, out of Bagley, Minnesota, Blake Higginbotham, and the MB Custom Adam Automotive-powered Higginbotham Trucking and Directional Drilling Car 57. Well, he's a Midwest Modified and Wissota late model racer up there in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and he comes here this weekend, the 57, the Wissota. We got a Wissota national champion in the pit area.
We do.
And we'll be seeing him in the Modified.
We got a couple of Wissota national champions.
I'm talking about this year.
This year's Wissota national champion, okay.
Between 2 drivers, we have like 10 national championships from Wissota.
Yes.
Michael King Jr. will be your 4th qualifier tonight, the 14 Junior out of El Dorado, Arkansas, down in the southwest part of the state near Texarkana. The Advanced Performance Engine Rocket Chassis, Joey Brown Plumbing, Shoe King Shocks, and Super B Speedway. 14 Junior, as guess what, guys? Twisted Tech Super Late Model Qualifying is underway as Bob Gardner comes out in the 4G. And he's going to get a lap to get some heat in the motor and the tires as everybody else taking a minute to get out there. There's Jim Rogers in the 71K. And we'll have one more out there. We're going to send 3 at a time. That'll be the 57 of Blake Higginbotham. Again, these will determine the lineups for heat races 1, 2, and 3.
So the green flag is out in Twisted Tech qualifying for the Comp Cam Super Late Models. As again, Blake Higginbotham in the 57, Jim Rogers, the Georgia driver, in the 71, and the 4G of the Pink Panther, Bob Gardner. And the very first lap time of the weekend laid down by Jim Rogers at a 12.751. Blake Higginbotham with a 13.213. Bob Gardner with a 12.829. Final lap time for Jim Rogers is not as good. He will stand on lap number 1. Second lap time for Blake Higginbotham is not as good. Second lap time for Bob Gardner also not as good. So Ben, the early time to beat has been established. It'll be Statesboro, Georgia's Jim Rogers with a lap of 12.751.
Up next will be Michael King Jr. out of El Dorado, Arkansas in the 14 Junior. Timothy Welch the second out of Gillespie, Illinois, the B17. The Timmy's Tours, not Timmy Truex, Timmy's Tours, Maverick Steak and Spirits, WD Racing, Rayburn B17. And he'll be joined by the number 32, a 20-time winner this year. That'll be Bobby Pierce, the smooth operator out of Oakwood, Illinois, the Rio Grande Waste Services First Spear, Hoker Trucking with Sea Valley Transportation, Vic Hill powered Pierce race car for Bobby Pierce. Time to beat a 12.751 by Jim Rogers.
Still plenty of time to get those dirt tracks. Oh, Bobby Pierce just cracked the inside wall coming off the corner, and at the exact moment that happened, the caution flag flew on the speedways. I don't know if they were quite
well, we had a switch up too. We've got Pierce out there, and we got the 14 Junior as well. We don't have the B17, so we do have Adam Elliott in the 11. There works heating and cooling, Pro Power Racing Engine Rocket XR1, 5-time street stock winner this year. And as we said, he and his wife Brittany operate Paducah International Raceway in Kentucky. And right now the 14 Junior's got some troubles, it would appear, DJ, as he rolls to a stop the top of turn 3 and 4. So that's Michael King Jr., the El Dorado, Arkansas driver. What if I told you that I had family from El Dorado, Arkansas? Would you believe me, my friend?
No, I would not believe you.
True story.
Nope,
true story.
You do not.
That's why I'm an Arkansas Razorback fan. As painful as the football season was this year, but at least we didn't lose it in Nebraska last week. So right now, we're going to get the 14 Junior of Michael King Jr. pushed back to the infield. And Blake, you're down there. Can you see anything wrong on that race car?
Well, Blake has to put his glasses back on to turn the microphone. Oh, hey, there you are, Blake.
I was just walking over to see what the word was, guys. Here's they're pushing him into the infield. Let's see if I can get a report at the next stoppage.
Blake is down there salivating at the possibility of collecting race car parts to build his own race car, as he does every year.
He could actually get the whole race car right now. Oh, you look at the front tires. That's going to be your problem.
Yeah, the car's locked up.
Or none of those tires are turning. I don't. Oh my.
Yeah, that car's locked up.
Well, in a sprint car, you can back it down. Not so much in a late model. I don't think that's going to work.
There's Michael King Jr. again in the King Racing Rocket, the 2020 limited modified champion at the Super B Speedway down there in Chatham, Louisiana, home of the Spooker. Spooky? Which one
Spooker. It's the Spooker.
It's the Spooker.
But you also
it happens in
no, the Spooky 50. It is a Spooky 50. The Spooker's at Tri-State Speedway up in
Oklahoma.
Fort Smith. You were right.
I just saw Blake. There's Blake on our screen, not doing anything.
What does he think he's doing?
He is not doing anything down there. All right, so Bobby Pierce and Adam Elliott on the racetrack for qualifying. BP 32 will lay down the time to beat with a 12.333. Adam Elliott's first lap time, 13.536. Second and final time around for the driver out of Oakwood, Illinois. Two-time Gateway Dirt Nationals champion Bobby Pierce. His second lap not quite as good. He'll stay on lap number 1. Second lap time for Adam Elliott is a tick better. He'll be fifth quick at a 13.390. So Bobby Pierce now the time to beat St. Louis with a 12.333, and Adam Elliott with damage on the right rear of his number 11.
Yeah, a little dome customization as the next set of cars get set to come out. Look for Colt Smith out of Woodruff, South Carolina, the 45S. The 24 of Ryan Unziker out of El Paso, Illinois, and Jamie Zidar out of Hell's Corner, Wisconsin in the 9J. Colt Smith, the home-built Hero Racing engine. He said self-built with advice. I love everything about it. An Excel chassis, sponsored by Bragg Services and L&L Landscaping. 2 wins on the year for the 3-time Warrens County Speedway track champion. And then we'll have Ryan Unziker in this set. He picked up the Mars Late Model Series Championship this year. And of course, the 2011 UMP National Champion, the Pro Power Racing Engine MB Custom RJR Transportation Mosquito Hero Car 24. And joining him on the Speedway, Jamie Zidar in the 9Z. That driver out of Hell's Corner, Wisconsin, the American Foundation Specialist, Star Trucking, JJ Enterprises, Pro Power Racing Engine, Team Zero, number 9Z for Jamie Zidar.
So again, Bobby Pierce has the time to beat in Twisted Tech qualifying after 6 drivers for the CompCam's late models with a 12.333. We'll see if any of these 3 drivers have anything for him. Colt Smith's first lap, fourth quick, 1.3191. First lap time for Ryan Unziker, second fastest, 12.624. And the first lap time for Jamie Zidar, third quick at a 12.730. Second lap time for Colt Smith, not as good. He'll be sixth. Second lap time for Ryan Unziker and Jamie Zidar, both a little better. Both will stay second and third. Unziker with a 12.589. And third will be Jamie Zidar with a 12.701.
All right, next 3 cars coming out will be David McCoy and the Coltman Farms Racing Special Needs School of Gwinnett. Vic Hill powered Longhorn race car, 18-time winner this year in car 187. He'll be joined by Quentin White out of Greenwood, Indiana in the 14W. The B&R Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, Indy's Best Towing, Elite Outdoors 14W for Quentin White. And Rachel Carpenter, again, sisters racing here for the first time ever. She'll be the younger sister. Again, no ages by me because I don't want ladies angry at me. She's out of Langsburg, Michigan, the Liskey's Auto and Truck Service, M&R Racing, Ryan Powered Rocket. And she was also, Rachel was the first female driver to win a super late model race in the state of Michigan.
That is true.
And she came here last year. I think she made a prelim feature here last year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think she did.
And we'll be seeing her in this set along with David McCoy, the Franklin, North Carolina driver. You talk about the Coltman Farms Racing on the 187. I feel like that sponsors on about 18 race cars now. They do a lot of support of a lot of teams, both pavement and dirt, down in the Southeast.
Yeah, absolutely. You see that everywhere, and it's great to have folks like them come on board. I was thinking about that actually with Twisted Tech coming on board as well. A little different scenario, Twisted Tech being a new company coming on board and sponsoring both things here at the Dome as well as the qualifying session for the late models this evening. Glad to have the new folks like Twisted Tech on board. And glad to have the old-timers, so to speak, sticking around racing as well, like Coleman Farms on the 187. As the first lap times now about to go up, and that 187 of David McCoy, he'll check in 6th quick on lap 1. Quentin White will be 9th quick on lap 1. And Rachel Carpenter's first lap is good enough for 11th fastest. Second time around, David McCoy in the 187 will be 6th quick. Second lap not as good. Second lap time for Quentin White also not as good. And the second lap time for Rachel Carpenter not as good also. So David McCoy, the quickest driver of that trio. 6th quick overall with a 13.424. Top threes unchanged still. Bobby Pierce, Ryan Unzicker, Jamie Zidar right now your top 3.
Up next, it'll be Tegan Evans. She's out of Clinton, Iowa. She'll be in the T22. Brian Wolfmeyer out of House Springs, Missouri in the 5X. And Daniel Adam out of Wade, North Carolina in the 75A. Tegan Evans, she's behind the wheel of the Black Diamond, Earl Ramey powered, Doug's Heating and Air Conditioning, Roll Construction, car T22, joined on the speedway by Brian Wolfmeyer out of House Springs, Missouri. He'll be in the 5X car, the Cornet powered Rocket chassis, sponsored by Jacober Automotive, Jacober License and Title, and E.L. Flanagan Signs. And joining them all on the speedway first time here will be Daniel Adam, the North Carolina driver, originally from Illinois in the Barry Wright Icon by Moose, Rouse Racing Engine CT 525 powered, Racing for Heroes, the Restore Warehouse, and Coastal Pet Fence 75A. He was the 2021 North Carolina State Legend Car Champion. This is his first year in super late models, and right on cue, he's got some trouble down in turn number 2 as he's going to try to get it going. We'll see if he has to limp it to the infield or not. Time to beat still Bobby Pierce, a 12.333. He's a 2-time Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals champion in car 32.
Trying to pick up that 3rd Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals title here this year is Bobby Pierce, and he's off to a good start right now. Again, Unzicker 2nd quick with a 12.589, and Jamie Zidar 3rd quick with a 1.2701. And we'll see if this next group of drivers can move up into the podium as they get ready to take their qualifying laps. Tegan Evans in the T22 will be the first driver to come around for a white flag, and her first lap time is 11th quick, 1.3478. First lap time for the Wolf Dog, Brian Wolfmeyer. He'll be 11th quick, 13.324, and Daniel Adam 8th quick with a 1.3202. Second lap time for Tegan Evans is a little better, 13th quick, 13.472. Wolf Dog's second lap is 6th quick, and that'll be a 1.3103. And Daniel Adams' second lap time, 9th quick. It is not as good. So Brian Wolfmeyer, the quickest driver of that trio, he is 6th quick overall. Bob Gardner 5th, Jim Rogers 4th, Jamie Zidar 3rd, Ryan Unzicker 2nd, and BP 32 still the time to beat with a 12.333.
Up next, it'll be a 4-time American Late Model Series champion, Rusty Schlink out of McClure, Ohio. The Buckeye Concrete Coatings, Dominator Race Products, Mullins Power Domination Race Car. A 12-time winner this year is Schlink. Meanwhile, in new digs for the weekend, that'll be Chad Zobrist in the 7Z, the Seaver Plumbing, Reinecker Farms, RKR Appraisals, Timco Heating and Cooling, Dargy Powered Rocket. 1 win on the year that came at Highland Speedway. And Matthew Tribble, he comes to us out of Pocahontas, Arkansas in the 111, the Black Diamond Creason Racing Engine, Matthew Tribble Construction, Matthew Tribble Real Estate, Sheila Tax Service, and MJ Aviation 111T. Your next 3 qualifiers here in Group A for the Comp Cams Super Late Models and Twisted Tech qualifying.
You almost said it, didn't you? You almost said Twisted Tea.
I would love a Twisted Tea about right now. I would love one.
There's something else in the refrigerator.
Well, I just saw your wife put a bottle of wine in there. I don't even know how that happened.
Well,
Yes.
wait, what?
Yep.
Well, I guarantee neither one of us are touching that if we know what's good for ourselves. Rusty Schlenk, 6th quick. Chad Zobra, 7th quick. And Matthew Tribble, 14th quick after lap number 1. Lap number 2 for Rusty Schlenk, 5th fastest, 1:27.98. That is his best lap. Chad Zobra, 2nd lap, not as good. He'll rest on lap number 1 and be 7th quick. And Matthew Tribble's 2nd lap also not as good. He will be 14th fastest. So after 18 drivers have attempted a lap bend, it's still Bobby Pierce atop the leaderboard with a 12.333. Ryan Unzicker 2nd quick. Jamie Zidar is 3rd.
Up next, it'll be Jeff Newbert out of Rockford, Tennessee in the 28, Gordy Gundaker out of St. Charles, Missouri in the 11G, and Ryan Wilson out of Margaret, Alabama in the 4W. Jeff Newbert in the J. Dickens Longhorn race car, Joe Newbert Collision Center, Carriage Hill Insurance, KT Coatings, all sponsors on that race car. Changed his number to 28 in memory of his granddad and his dad passing away this year. And the number 11G, that'll be Gordy Gundaker out of St. Charles, Missouri, the Lucas Oil Vexel, Haas Horizontal, McKay Napa Auto Parts, Spartan Construction, Clements Powered Longhorn 11, and joined on the speedway by Margaret, Alabama's Ryan Wilson, and he is in the 4W. The Rocket Chassis, Iron City Machine Engine Rebuilders, Moses Motorsports, and People's Racing, all sponsors on that 4W.
First lap time about to go up for the 28 of Jeff Newbert. 16th quick, 1:33.98. Gordy Gundaker, 6th fastest, and Ryan Wilson, 7th fastest. We'll see if anyone's able to improve on lap number 2. Gordy with a 12.799. Ryan Wilson with a 12.808. Second lap time for Jeff Newbert, not as good. Gordy Gundaker's 2nd lap, not as good. Ryan Wilson moves up, Ben. He goes to 5th fastest. A good lap for the driver of the 4W out of Margaret, Alabama, Ryan Wilson. He is 5th quick with a 1:27.82. It's still Jim Rogers 4th, Jamie Zidar 3rd, Ryan Unzicker 2nd, and Bobby Pierce, the time to beat. He is over 2/10 faster than anyone else right now with a 1:23.33.
Up next in Twisted Tech qualifying, it'll be Scott Bell out of East Prairie, Missouri in the 45B. This will be his 5th